next year we should see inflation officially back up in the 4 or 5% area, and the following year we could very well see it back up officially over 10%. And, of course, real inflation would probably be around 20%. And so that's what I see coming.
And a lot of it is because the dollar is getting hammered so much. If our dollars are buying less goods and services, that's one definition of inflation. And, I mean, you've got the dollar just literally going in the tank completely, and it certainly is on a downward trajectory right now. Here's another big thing I'll throw up. We'll take a break shortly. I'd like your comments on this when we come back. But there's a lot of rumblings about the Arab oil producers getting off the dollar and selling oil in other currencies, maybe a basket of currencies. And I think the rumor is that they're very upset that they see the dollar declining. I think, like you, they see this continuing, and it's costing them a lot of money. So they want to make a move, apparently, and change things. I guess that has to be extremely bearish for the dollar. But let's take a break and come back. Welcome back to the News Hour. I'm with Bob Chapman. Bob, what do you make of the Arab oil producers very upset, very possibly planning to go off the dollar?
Well, first of all, the journalist Fisk, that was a deliberate leak. The leak was decided, I think, by the G20, G7. I think they want to put the thought for the future in the minds of people that there are those who are pushing very hard to have the dollar no longer the world's reserve currency. Now, as soon as the announcement came out that China, Russia, the Arab Gulf states, we'll call them, Brazil, China, Japan, had been secretly having meetings, they did. They had those meetings. And they all lied about it, which is not unusual. They lie about everything. It's a trial balloon. Otherwise, he wouldn't have released it, Fisk. And what are they looking for here? They're looking to get rid of the dollar in international trade. And I think what they will do is the IMF says, well, we're going to use SDRs. And that I don't think is going to last very long. I think it's an intermediate step. The SDR is the special drawing right. It's a fiat currency. There's nothing behind it. It's just as bad as all the other currencies, which are all fiat, with the exception of the euro, which has about 7% gold backing. And so that's not going to work. So what they're going to do, I think, is go to a basket of 20 current currencies weighted against each other. And I hope that there's a gold component of 15% or higher, but probably 15%. And if that is included, then those who don't have gold, like the United States, will have to go out and buy it in order to qualify to be in this unit, this trade unit. I think this will happen about a year and a half from now, maybe sooner, but probably a year and a half to 2 years from now. And it will be accompanied by those devaluations and debt defaults that I talked about earlier. And the next step for the internationalists is a one world currency. That's what they will be after next. That's what takes your sovereignty away from you.
That's way off in the future. That certainly isn't a one world currency is certainly not in the near term future. That's a pretty distant event.
Well, it's at least 5 or more years. And the public of the world are not going to give up their sovereignty to these people. And if they try to shove it down people's throats all over the world, they'll have world revolution. And that may happen simultaneously anyway, because at the same time, there should be ravaging inflation going on all over the world a year and a half to 2 years from now. and gold will be at considerably higher prices, somewhere between $3,000 and $6,000 an ounce, and silver will maybe be $100 an ounce, and that will be a reflection of the inflation, the fear of the value of currencies, represented in a flight to quality. The gold is the only currency in the world that owes nobody anything, and it's been that way for centuries. And so that is the evolutionary process that we are entering into. And when you are in a worldwide unstable situation and were to turn deflationary, I mean, all heck would break loose. And you'd have revolution all over the place. And these people who have deliberately caused this in the first place, these international bankers, members of the Illuminati, I wouldn't give 2 cents for their lives. Because what's going to happen is everything's going to blow sky high. And so we're headed towards very, very difficult times. And if you think now is bad, this is child's play. We're just getting warmed up. And so out over the next 5 years, you're going to see the asset depreciation continue worldwide. That would be anything. Factories, commercial, residential, real estate, your own business, the value of your business. Everything's going to get down 60 to 95% in value. The only thing that's going to retain its value is gold and silver, coins, bullion, and shares. And that is the only place to be for investments. The markets are going to go down. I mean, you just gave the figures that David gave. David's probably one of the 5 best economists in the world today. Got thrown out of his job because he tells the truth. Maybe he should come on the air with me. He'd have a lot of fun.
Oh, he indeed will. I'd like to get you both on at the same time, but I do prefer one guest at a time.
Yeah, and I do too. But anyway, I highly recommend you get a hold of him. And he's really terrific
I
economist.
sent an email to his company once. It came to him. I got an answer from somebody else. I asked a question, and I suggested that he address it more fully in some of his daily commentaries. And my point is that money and credit is contracting at a rate comparable to the early 1930s, and at the same time we've got stock prices just soaring to the moon, and consumer credit is contracting very sharply, and still big job losses are being incurred. How in the devil do you get, I mean, I'll ask you, Bob, how in the devil do you get any kind of a recovery with this kind of stuff going on? I mean, this is big-time trouble.
It defies sanity.
Indeed.
It is just beyond the pale. It is beyond belief. It's incredible. And they expect the professionals of this world to believe that. Never mind the public. It's just like the boy who cried wolf. They're going to cry wolf, and the wolf's going to be there, and nobody's going to come. And I think the people, and I truly believe this is not some spatial thinking, the people like you and I and Alex and John Stadmiller, and who have been on the airwaves year after year, and who have been writing year after year, and now we have the Internet. All of these people have contributed to making the Illuminati terrified. They are terrified, and they are on the run. And they have made a mess of this thing. That's probably this last administration in Washington really sunk them. At least that's according to particularly Brzezinski. And I think that it's on the way, and they can't control it, and they're going to lose. But everybody's going to pay a great price. It's just like the Fed saying, well, if you investigate the Fed or you try to do away with it, we'll bring the system down. And my answer is, hey, the system's coming down anyway, and we know that. So bring it on. And you know why? Because you people control almost all the wealth in the world, and you're going to lose it. We're going to arrange to have it taken away from you.
Oh, indeed, Bob. I wanted to mention one other person. I wonder whether you get any of his reports. Richard Salenti, who runs the Trends Research Institute. You mentioned some possibility of some pretty disruptive things happening, violence, whatever. He absolutely sees things deteriorating very badly, and it will result in great violence when people, including here in the U.S., will be so severely impacted by the economic devastation that's hitting them that they literally will feel, they'll lose their jobs, they'll lose their homes, they'll lose their savings. They will really be, whatever they've been working for will be wiped out. They'll have nothing to lose, and they will let it all hang out by reacting violently in the streets